Hey guys, Andy here. So I'm going to start with kind of an apology. If I look a little bit sweaty, that's because I am a little bit sweaty. We're in the middle of a heat wave here in the UK. If you're watching from abroad, you may be going through the same. You may even be watching this in like the winter thinking, what's he talking about? It's bloody 3 degrees outside. Excuse me. But actually no, we're kind of 30 plus degrees, and I've had my air conditioner off for the last sort of 10 minutes because I can't record these videos with the air conditioner on. So I've got myself a towel here to try and keep myself dry. So I do apologise. I'm trying not to let it pull you off. Anyway, so you may have already seen that explanation as well, because you may have seen my Nokia 5 unboxing or review or whatever. But I'm having a bit of a play with actual proper budget phones, proper budget. So I've bought a few that have been kind of at 150 or 200 or so, but I've got a couple. So this one here, the Alcatel 3V, I've actually paid £90 from Tesco. Now, it's a little bit weird. If you go to Amazon or Argos, sorry, that was what I was trying to it's £150, but Tesco do it for 90. So I don't know if it's going to be locked to Tesco mobile and I can't do anything about that, or what. But 90 quid, I thought it was worth a play, because I've also, the same day as I just mentioned, I've been I'm doing the unboxing almost at the same time, the Nokia 5, which was £105 from Amazon, 130 if you're new, but watch the other video for that one. So I thought, well, what can you actually get these days? And that actually looks like, so that sticker's fine, but it's like this, oh, maybe not, maybe it's just kind of slightly worn. So we see there on the back some of the specs. The display is a 6-inch 18:9, so it's a 2K. That's not 2K, is it? 1080p, that is. IPS LCD. It does 4G as you'd expect. It's quad core. It's actually the Cortex. It's 1.45 gigahertz Cortex A53 to give you a bit more detail. The camera is 12 megapixel with a 2 megapixel as well f2.2 camera, and the front facing is a 5 megapixel. I haven't got the f-stop on that, but it can do 1080p at 30 frames per second. 16 gig of ROM, 2 gig of RAM, 3000 milliamp hour battery, and it's running Oreo. So I don't know, that sounds reasonable for 90 quid. You're getting a 1080p screen. It can do 1080p video. It's only quad core, so it's not octa core, but yeah, I mean, the GPU I didn't mention is a Mali T720 MP2. Now I think that particular GPU is a little bit old. I don't know the MediaTek stuff as well as like Snapdragon, unfortunately. Anyway, so all right, so there's me top up cards. I don't know if I'm getting a SIM in with the phone then, perhaps. So there's the actual device. Let's pop that aside for a second and just check what else we have in the box. So Alcatel, as far as I can see, are actually owned by Nokia. Since 2016. I think this is the first ever Alcatel phone I've ever reviewed. There's the charging brick, and then I'm assuming micro USB, but we'll check in a moment. There's the earphones. So okay, that's all. Not too exciting in there. So let's move on to the actual device. So on the front we've got more. I'm still fairly sure that's not a 2K display. It's 1080p. Surely someone can perhaps confirm or deny for me. Face unlock, I think that one means. Interesting. So interesting. So this does feel, is there another layer? No. This does feel a little plasticky. We'll leave that on just for the moment. Let's take this off though. So, I mean, I'm going to do a separate video comparing this to the Nokia 5, but the Nokia 5, I can tell you already, feels better in the hand because it's aluminium body. This, I'm fairly sure, is plastic body, and it feels like it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet already. It just feels slightly tacky, which is not a bad thing, because it means you're going to get a decent grip on it, perhaps. It does feel very light. It almost feels like the battery might not be in there or something, but let's hold the power button down to check that. Oh, maybe the battery's not in there. But we didn't see one in the box though, did we? So why? There's micro USB at the bottom. Okay, so it looks like we managed to halt proceedings at that point, because I'll need to put a bit of charge into it, basically. Let me just check if I went through. No, I didn't go through all the specs. So we can talk a little bit about design and the specs while we're here, though. So the design, I've already mentioned it's a 6-inch screen. The pixel density is 402, which is pretty high. That's pretty good. The screen to body ratio is 75.5, so you can just make out where the screen ends, top and bottom. And they're reasonable bezels. I wouldn't say they were too bad. The cameras, what have I got about the camera? So I've already mentioned 12 megapixel and 2 megapixel, f2.2, and the front facing 5 megapixel. It should be running Android 8.0. It says it's 155 grams. It actually feels a lot lighter than that, but maybe it's quite a big phone, but for its size, it feels quite light. And that is a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor. I can't help but think there's some kind of plastic, because it does just feel a little bit weird. Anyway, so I think what I'll need to do, I need to get it charged up, so it might even be tomorrow now at this point. And when I'll come back to, I'll get it charged up, I'll get it logged in, I'll get Geekbench installed, and then we'll have just a bit of a first play with the device, see how it is. So it is in fact the next day. I basically just ran out of time last night. I had work in the morning, etc. Anyway, so here we are. I've got it fully charged. It was weird. Didn't seem to be charging initially when I plugged it into my usual charger. Then I tried on just a portable battery and it was working fine. Then I put it back on the charger, it was working fine. So I don't quite know why. It may have been so. I think it was totally dead. I got some charge into it, booted up, and started running the updates and things. And maybe just because the amount of stuff it was doing, it couldn't really charge because it was using it as much as it was coming in. Anyway, so here we are, the Alcatel 3V. So let's go into settings at first. And straight away you'll see we're not stock Android, which I don't really know why companies do this, to be honest, because I can never then find anything. What am I looking for? So I'm fairly sure. In fact, this took quite a while last time I did it. I have done it. So we're up to date. And you can see we're on Android version 8.0. The security patch level 5th of March. So it's not too bad. That's not great though. That's 4.5 months old, I suppose. But yeah, I guess it could be worse on a £90 phone. What else have we got in there? Smart Manager. Power saving, storage, app manager, apply strategies for apps. Auto starting. Well, we don't need Geekbench auto starting. Whatever, fine. Deep hibernate. Alright, so it's optimized a lot of apps for us. What's something about football? Real football. Okay, so there's a little bit of bloat on here. Advanced features. Quick launch camera, double tap screen. Oh, I do like double tap to wait. We'll have that on. Turn over to mute yet. Turn over to activate. No. So what's the quick launch though? Jump to camera. Press the power button twice. Well, that's fairly sort of standard Android at this point, actually. Funk? What's funk? Start sound recording. Even calculate. So okay, so we can set shortcuts. Okay. So reasonably customizable at this point. Let's come back out. Anything else we want to see in here? I don't think so. So let's come back to the actual launcher. So it's not sort of. Sorry, you can't see that. We can't swipe up to. We are on their own launcher. I guess that's okay. What I'm actually quite keen to have a look at, or at least we'll get it running, so we can see there the verification of the sort of specifications. So initial impressions, yeah, it's okay. I've taken a sticker off the back. I've left a bit of a mark there, I just realised. It's okay. It does feel a little plasticky. Oh, did it? Somehow we stop it. Start it up again. I think what I'll do, in fact, then let's wait for that to finish, and I'll come back. Join me back here as we come to the results. That's not a particularly good score. I'm not going to lie to you. 1,783 is kind of a couple of years old, sort of budgety territory, I would have said. It concerns me a little bit for a phone that actually they're selling for £150 on Amazon or Argos. That is quite low. But let's not be put off. Let's wait and just sort of see. It's more about how it actually performs, really. The next thing I wanted to look at was the camera. So it's not, again, we're not stock Android, so we've got some weird, I don't know, Alcatel's own camera app on here, sorry. We've got a few options in there. Panoramic, time-lapse, light trace might be interesting. Social portrait, I'll have to try that at some point. Now, I did nip outside to try the camera, took a picture of the background. It looked okay. It looks a reasonable snap. Then I tried some video. And the video, again, it looked alright, not amazing. I guess probably looks like what you'd expect a sort of £100-ish phone to produce. So obviously I'm going to do a lot more better testing than just those couple of bits over the time that I use the device, and we will see. I'll do a comparison. I have got the Nokia 5 as well, which is a similar price bracket. So I'll probably do a head-to-head sort of video sort of comparisons, if nothing else, on that. Let's have a look now. That's kind of the screen and YouTube, and is it going to rotate? Yeah, there we go. Pinch to zoom, fine. So because of the volume on the opposite sides of the power, which is kind of normal. So because of the screen ratio, we do get the pinch to zoom, which is fine. Let's skip on a bit. So as we know, it's a 1080p screen. I would say generally that looks pretty good. That looks okay. I wouldn't say there's any issues in that. Let's try to turn the volume up. Okay, again, I'm not going to lie to you. That is not sounding particularly good. It sounds like a small speaker. Now I know it is a small speaker, and you could say that's a bit of a stupid comment, but I guess what I'm saying is the better phones, and obviously I'm not, for 90 quid, I'm not overly surprised that it's not been able to do it, but better phones can kind of mask that a little bit. They get a bit of better sound, a bit more of a rounded sound. That sounded quite tinny. The volume didn't sound great. And again, I'm going to do more testing. I'll get the old sound meter on it and things like that. So you'll need to kind of check out my review in a week or two's time when I finally going to do that, I suppose, to get a better understanding of that. So I think early impressions, if I'm honest, not particularly great. So it feels a little plasticky. It looks okay, but then it's quite a fingerprint magnet, as we can see already. The camera looks reasonable. The screen, I think the screen is okay. The fingerprint sensor, let's kind of just test that as well. So that's not too bad. I mean, it's not as fast as you might expect from some, but again, we're talking about a 90 or £150 phone. The bigger test will be its reliability, really, and I'll see that over the coming days and weeks. So the speaker not great. That might not bother some people at all. We will need to wait and see. Now, one issue I have found is that it does come with a Tesco SIM, and it is locked, unfortunately. So I put my own eSIM in there, and it said it's locked. You need to put in the code. I've had a look on eBay. I can't see. So there's other Alcatel phones with an unlock code for like 99p. Not the 3V. The 3V isn't listed. I'll do a bit more searching. I had a quick look. I've then done a quick Google search, and the first two, one was £29 to unlock it, and one was $20. So $20 will come down to about, well, I don't know, £15. So I guess that's not too bad. If it really is a £150 phone, you buy it from Tesco for 90, you pay the 15 to unlock, you look at 105, which actually lines it right up with the 105 I paid for the Nokia 5, just as a side note. Also, I'm going to just show you at this point the SIM tray. That's a little weird. So we've got obviously a SIM slot, we've got a micro SD card slot, and we've got a SIM slot that's been blanked out. So clearly, I guess it's just not in this device, but it seems a little bit of a waste. You almost think, well, you've taken the space up to do it, why not have dual SIM? Maybe there's a different version that is. But there we go. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, initially it's not looking great, but you never know. Actually, again, I don't know how I'm going to use this as a daily device, because I'm thinking, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll just get it unlocked and I'll use it. Maybe I'll just tether through it for a while and see how we get on with it. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you have any questions about it, let me know there. But subscribe if you haven't. Obviously, there'll be more videos based on the Alcatel and based on the Nokia 5. Go and watch the Nokia 5 video if you're interested in budget phones, because that does seem like a very good device. But for now, my name's Andy, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum if you've got any questions about things or request me to review things or anything else. Just come and have a chat on the forum.